And we are live. Hello and welcome to the February meetup of Expa Game Business Cooperative. Can I get a hell yeah? Perfect. This meetup is brought to you by our DGC partners, which are JAMK University of Applied Sciences, Business Development Services of Jyväskylä, Fingersoft, DeskMe, Seltimil, Keski-Suomen Konttoripiste, and Suomen Pelinkehittäjät ry/Finnish Game Developers Association. Who's here at the DGC for the very first time? At least a couple of people. So yes, consider yourselves at a nice second living room of your life. So there's coffee, there's snacks, you can just chillax. The toilets are in the main lobby or in that end of the building. The program of the evening is as usual, so we will have first professional talk, interesting insights into industry topics. After that we have a Q&A, and if you have any questions that pop up into your mind during the presentation, just write them down or somehow hold on to them so we can bring them up in the discussion part. We are also live streaming at Expa's Twitch channel, so hello to everyone online. And you can also write your questions if those come up into the chat, because I will pick them up when we have the Q&A. We should also have the catchbox microphone going around when there's the Q&A, so you can just sit where you are, and we will pass you the mic if you wish to talk. Expa, as a cooperative, is about boosting the game industry here in Jyväskylä and central Finland area. We connect to game companies and to the game industry nationally and internationally. We try to bring the value to our small little bubble over here, which is nice and international and beautiful in its diversity. So, if you want to be an active member of Expa, there's many ways that you can contribute. You can always join our low threshold events like these meetups and bigger events, and you can also become someone who aids us creating them, because all of these nights are always built up with the voluntary force. And if you want to become really a member of the cooperative, you can also go to expa.fi and become a member with an application over there. But you don't need to be an official member to join and celebrate our activities. So basically, you can also just hang around, come here, have a cup of coffee anytime. There are many different companies, entrepreneurs, students, professionals, researchers, teachers, a community of many different aspects, and that's how the value is actually generated. We all meet at the modern Neanderthals, campfire site, which is the coffee maker, and that's where you actually just spark the discussion, and that's how the magic happens here. So I think that's not all. Remember to join our Slack as well. So that's the digital part of the community. We have some 400 members over there, all over Finland, but centralized here in Jyväskylä area. You can find job opportunities, projects, like promote your indie stuff, whatever. So the community is very lively, and use it to your benefit. In addition to the official program, we have some networking, free mingling, and so on, but always also the demo corner, and it seems that we have at least 3 different demos tonight, so it's looking pretty nice. You can test the games and give your feedback to the developers. They depend on it, so please be active. Yes, you can ask questions. You can take pictures. If you take pictures, if you post them online, please tag Expa JKL or DGC JKL, probably both, to help our community gain more reach. But yeah, I think that's about it. So now we can move on to the main program. Today we have a very special speaker really telling us about how to build content that matters. And without further ado, please welcome to the stage. He is a broadcaster, a marketing producer, and very experienced in these areas with a versatile background. I'll let him tell more about that himself. But welcome to the stage, Alexander Razuvalov.
Thank you very much for introduction. Happy to be here. This is my first time being somewhere outside of Uusimaa, so I once was in Tampere, but it was only once. So so nice to just. It's for me. It's just experience to see like other parts of Finland as well. So thank you for that. So today I'm gonna talk about content. And first of all, I want to tell you about myself. Who am I? So I am the guy originally from Belarus. I've lived in Belarus for 35 years. Then I moved here. I have experience with marketing, art, cinematics, trailers, and live broadcasts. I worked for several great companies like Wargaming and Redhill Games, and I led marketing for marketing campaigns for World of Tanks, Blitz, and other Wargaming titles, and as well as for 9 to 5, which was the game of Redhill Games, where I used to work, and now I am laid off. So if not today, the right time to talk about my experience, when it is. So then talking about like broadcast, I led the broadcast department in Wargaming. We did more than 200 live streams annually. So and I built and managed teams in different departments, hired people, let them go, and so on. So in video production, motion graphics, and art. So and also a few years ago, my career also expanded into theater. It was kind of surprised me, but yeah, one of my friends called me and asked me like, "Hey, do you want to work with very known John Malkovich and Ingeborga Dapkunait?" And said like, "Yeah, why not?" So I'm a video engineer and camera operator there. In a piece of in the solitude of cotton fields, which I really want to bring to Finland. If you can help with that, I would be very thankful for you. So we worked with them as well. So and as I was laid off last week, and now is the best time to talk about experience. I was thinking about the topic which I want to bring here to this meetup, and I chose that because the topic about the content is the topic which always, in my opinion, always be relevant for everyone. So no matter what new tools you use, like ChatGPT or DALL-E, whatever, so strategy helps you to understand what to make and why. So, and let's start with I will start with the story. So, a few months ago, team of Redhill Games spent time crafting what we thought was the great, perfect marketing video for the company, showing our skills. And it has, stunning visuals, great character work, flawless editing, and we were sure it would be a hit. And it is a hit, actually, but you know what? When we released it, it earned barely any views. Although it's the most, one of the most popular video on our channel, it's anyway not that we expected. So what happened at the same time? At the same time, our tech artist posted a small thread, in the Twitter, and it's just was small piece of tech art that he made for this video, and you see it earned more than 500,000 of views. It had more than 8,000 of likes, shares, some great big accounts shared us. 80 level wrote a story, wrote several articles about Redhill Games, about our work. So sometimes the content that matters isn't that the one you plan, but it's the one people connect with. So and that's exactly what we'll talk about today, and how to craft content that actually matters. So I will talk today about the content strategy, The main goal of content strategy is to help understand what to do with the content and why you make it. My topic is for everyone who makes content, creates content. If you have, I don't know, community, if you're a community leader or you have community which you want to engage with, so it's all for you. If you just, come here to hear something interesting, well, welcome. I hope you'd enjoy it. So to talk about the content strategy, I want to cover several topics. First of all, why do we need content? Then, like, content objectives and types, and MVP of content strategy, the kind of content strategy that you can write tomorrow in the morning and then apply to the content you produce. So let's start with why do we need a content? And to start that, I'll tell another story. This is my kid. He is a gamer. And do you know what games kids play nowadays? Well, you are right. Minecraft, Roblox, Brawl Stars, Fortnite, and my kid likes playing another games like Five Nights at Freddy's, or do you know what else? Poppy Playtime. So actually, can I be honest with you? He doesn't play such games because, watching horror games is more interesting than playing horror games. I play games for him. So, but do you know, I think he doesn't like just playing games, because when you play games, you just experience, I don't know, some feelings during the play. But he likes to do something else with the game, because my son doesn't only play games. To make this process interesting, this is the stock photo, it's not him, but anyway, he watches videos about how others play. He reads news, watches another videos. He talks to other people who might like or play same games. We once were in IKEA, and he met a girl at the playground and asked her, before he asked the question what was her name, he asked, like, do you play Roblox? She said yes. And he's like, they stuck for an hour talking about the game. It's just a huge universe for kids to talk about. And we, with him, even, go to some Superfest to see, like, how other people cyber sport, how's going on. So yeah, and why? Because he and me, myself, we love games. So what I want to say with that, players don't just feel like players while they play game. They feel like whatever they do about the game, so they feel they are part of the game itself. So and it goes to any hobby in your life. If you like playing, I don't know, drums, it doesn't mean that you like it while you're playing. You like watching videos about, you like probably watch how others play, you like to talk about that, so you like to communicate and engage with others about your hobby. So the same with the games. So content makes it possible to promote what you want to promote about your project, and it's just one of the key points. Content is a great way to communicate the message of your company if you're working for a company. So it's just great way to communicate your personal opinion about what you're making and why. Because if you don't do that, people would probably listen to some others, to content makers, and your update or your product would be kind of shown in some of sort of negative way or unfair way, on the way you don't want to see your product. So but let's look at some very basics. So as many of you probably know, 50 or 40 or 50 years ago, the concept of 4Ps in marketing was introduced. There are product. The product marketing defines what the product should be to sell better. Then price, determine the right price for your product. Then the place, deciding where to sell, and then promotion, how to market and advertise the product. So content production solves the only one issue here. The only one P is promoting your project. And and content strategy mainly focuses on promotion. So and promotion has really changed for like last 30 years, and I'll show you how. So it's me 22 years ago, and I was looking for a job. I had no internet, I had no phone as we have now, as like our personal computers. Well, I actually had the phone. Yeah, me too. We had it before. So and I decided to see the like Black Sea with my friends and to upgrade my PC, and I needed to work. So I needed money to earn, and I wanted to apply for work. So where could I find work? Some newspapers. So if someone wanted to share the demand that they need some workers, they probably, I would found it there. So TV ads, radio, some magazines, flyers, etc. at bus stops, everywhere. So yeah, I read newspapers, I watched TV ads, every TV ad we had these days. So and then actually, yeah, I found my summer job in the newspaper. I was great assistant of builder. So in 22nd, my country really, we didn't have much of sources of information. But let's see what happens now. I asked ChatGPT to show the marketing ecosystem nowadays. It made something like that. Great, but I like this picture. It didn't show. It's like pretty old. Maybe you have seen that before. So, but it shows the amount of different channels where you can advertise your product in digital. It's like everywhere. And how to publish your product, it's a question of your content strategy. So I have a question to you. Do you make content? Yeah. Okay. So one more question. Do you have a written content strategy for you? Yeah. The most common answer to that, we kind of have marketing strategy. It means that we have content strategy as well. So yeah, and then like, do you feel then that your content really works? Okay, so to if you want your content to work great, so I'm gonna show you how we made it before and why it worked. And we start with the very basic objectives of the content. So 4 basic objectives of the content, really simple things. So if you make content, you want to solve several issues, or like several something you want to solve. You want to advertise your project, first of all. You want to inform your customers, your clients about your project. You want to entertain them with something, and you want to build brand awareness. So people need to know what is your brand about. So, and this is very important. Yeah, now there will be like very important phrase. So content objectives are what the company wants. So it is something that you as a company, as a content creator, want to achieve. Yeah, so four of them, easy. And to achieve that, from here we have our 4 main types of content based on the objectives. So informational, educational, entertaining, and social. So, and I'll show you several examples from my past work about how we solved with same types of content. We solved content objectives. And it's really another important phrase here. So types of content are based on the audience's need. So it's not about what you want to achieve, but it's all about what audience want from you. So yeah, let's start with some examples what we made. And first of all, it was like a trailer for some update for World of Tanks. There are 3 simple things to share with the audience about first this informational content. So what happened, what happens, and what will happen. It's very easy. So what happens? Here we show the trailer about some new branch of tanks there. It was just Japanese tanks. So we made a trailer, and with that trailer as well, we wanted to, I repeat here, we wanted to share what we did and why. So explaining some new features of our game, and just to avoid misunderstandings in the community. So next, it works. Next, yeah, the same here with Redhill games. If it works. Yeah, there's a gameplay stream, as you see. I don't know why it doesn't work. So live streaming is the same thing. You just provide some information on fly about your game, what happens now and why it plays this way, and receive just feedback in the chat. It's easy. Then another thing, what will happen? There's like bunch of formats you can use. We use development diaries. Just like you should give a voice to your developers about to talk about our new content that will appear, just to gather some sort of feedback and show see the reaction of the people, of the viewers. And what happened, it's the same, worked really well with broadcasting events highlights, or it works best for esports, I would say, because we did before a lot of different reports, but reports, people just watch report where you had a great time at Gamescom and what they feel about it. You were at Gamescom, but we don't. Such a great thing. So yeah, let's go further with the educational content. It's the same thing. There are different approaches, but people have a desire to grow in your game everywhere. So provide the content that kind of helps them improve in your game, in your project. It would just help you and them understand or spend more time there. So this is something we did before, learning for newcomers, guides for tanks, guides for maps, or explaining mechanics, or when your players achieved the higher level, so you need to provide them as well some sort of training of how to become a pro esport player, something like that. So actually with this video, it's interesting story about that. So we made it in 3 days, explaining of how to play this small tank E25, and it was a proof of concept. What if we make a video with a simple goal? We explained how to play this tank. It was a premium tank that you need to buy for real money. And when we released that video, it was on Saturday. On Monday, we received some financial report saying that we earned, I don't know if I can name the number, but yeah, it was a huge pile of money, because we just made a video about the tank. Of course, it's not only about the video, but it helped a lot to promote the product inside the game. So entertaining, it's interesting thing to how to entertain people. So with World of Tanks, we did actually a lot of this best replays of the week. and random something machine. I don't even remember what was the name of the episodes, but we made some funny moments from the game, asked actually our players to send us those funny moments, and share them with the community to just, like, laugh a bit about our game. Because, well, obviously there are always some bugs and some, like, things inside the PC games which are quite funny, and people don't like it if you don't focus on that. With focusing on such things, we just decrease the amount of negative emotions from the players. So we converted, sometimes it's not a bug, it's a feature, so we just converted some bugs into features. And with entertainment, it's the same. So we did a lot of entertainment with broadcasting for the space. What is the day? Space something day, some special day about some space. So we made a broadcast from the ISS actually. So it was quite funny to. It was just a rough idea. Hey, can we just make it? And then we started, like, talking with people, and then it happened. We just kind of found a way how to connect with them, and our PR team even sent them the T-shirts. It's not very visible here, but they wore the T-shirt of, like, World of Tanks there. It was quite funny. And the same, it went even outside, outside the just gaming experience or broadcasts. It's the real celebration of the Day of the City in Belarus. So we gathered together 250,000 people offline. Maybe because we invited Offspring band there, I don't know. But we made it for the purpose of stream. We had like 7 or 8 hours of live streaming. Just, there were several tournaments, 20 studios, a lot of different equipment, maybe everything we had in Belarus we earned and, put there. But yeah, it was quite funny. Well, if you have abilities to build something like that, to expand your, broader your audience with something not like game, but about the game, it just, gives you a lot of values. Not values, but, a lot of additional points to your company. And one more thing about the social, we called it like that without truly understanding what is it. But some people want to see how company, involved in charity or helping others, or about some historical battles. This is what we made at Gamescom. It was augmented reality project where from the tablet we saw on the table some parts of battles, and we made with the History Channel, we made several episodes of Kursk battle. It's one of the biggest tank battle which happened last before. Yeah. So and that's the essence of this content. People just like to see that. Great. My computer dead. So that you do good. So hopefully it would work. So it was a video about people in the company in Redhill games, but I can't share that. So yeah, let me restart my PC. Sorry for that. Well,
you can repeat it. I'm not sure if it's working. Yeah. Test. Is it working? At least it's coming from the loudspeaker. All right. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, about the first piece of content that you showed, the trailer. Do you have any like hypothesis on why it wasn't as successful as you like intended it to be? Do you have any like insights on like? Do you know what happened?
well, actually, yeah, because the purpose of the video wasn't the like publishing on YouTube as the main platform, because we used it as a part of portfolio for like pitch deck, from the company. So that's why I just wanted to show you that in like when you chose the channel wrongly, so you wouldn't receive what you expected. So then you just need to choose like what is your audience actually, and where to publish it. So of course for us it wasn't like the main thing to publish it on YouTube. It was just we used it for the website, and it was just one of the like kind of indicator of how many people opened website page to see the like portfolio showcase.
Yeah, cool.
Well, first of all, thank you for the speech, because this was like exactly what I needed. Yeah, so can you share these slides later? Because I would really like to take a good look with them with my team.
Well, sure, why not?
Okay, thanks. And also, how long are you gonna be staying here after the speech? Because I really want to pick your brain.
Well, till probably 8.
Okay. That was my questions.
I plugged in, but
Yeah, that's how you do it.
yeah, in a second. Again.
Oh no. Happened again?
It happened again.
The computer is not complying.
Sorry for that.
What do you say, Alex, if I just interview a little bit about the content strategy?
Okay.
Yeah. So please elaborate. What were you going to present, and let's talk about it.
There will be 7 really small steps of how to build your content strategy, and yeah, and that's probably it. And my call to action here would be just for you guys to just come tomorrow to your work or your studies, and even if you have, I don't know, YouTube channel or Instagram, so you can write down really small things that would help you to build your content in your own way. Sorry, I yeah. Yeah. So let me then open it just to avoid something that I would forget. Give me a minute, please.
Yeah, we have time, but in the meanwhile, what would you say then that are your like three most important parts to understand about the content strategy?
So first of all, I'd like everyone to start with business objectives. So if you want to make your content strategy decent, so it can't be just you know something. So first of all, you need to identify your business objectives and goals. So and I hope I can launch my presentation and show you, because I have prepared something for you.
This is how to succeed in the industry. Top tier persistence. Yeah.
Yeah.
And working machines.
Yeah. And the thing is, I faced it so many times while I was working in a broadcasting department, and then when you are on stage and you just like feel that it's like people should wait till you set everything up again and again. It's like, I'm really sorry about that.
It's no big deal.
Hopefully it will work.
Give it a push.
Again. If it happens again, I will not try it anymore. Yeah, let's try. Here, okay, the content strategy MVP. So let's now make a content strategy that will help us solving the audience's needs and help company to grow. And well, shall I share my screen with the call? Well, let's probably not do that, please. So imagine we have a mid-core mobile game with the name Looter. I asked ChatGPT to make a key visual for it. So you see, it's just a game. We have great gameplay mechanics. We have as it's mid-core game, it's not very easy to start playing it. So we want to make content that will bring us a lot of players and money, of course. So how to start? And we have like 7 simple steps. First step, you need to identify your business's objectives and goals. So how to find it? So you should go as high as you can, asking like what we want to achieve with the content. So just simple thing. And my example is we want to increase brand awareness and player retention for Looter, and the goal is to just increase our MAU for, by 15% over the next quarter through our content campaigns. It really matters because everything you do should be connected with the business. So we don't make games just for fun. We make games to play them and to probably earn something, to just for other people to enjoy it and play as well. So it's the first step. Then, if you have marketing department, if you don't have, you have probably someone who kind of works with the marketing. You need to set the content marketing objective. It's the crucial thing to have as well. So my example, so position Looter as a premier choice for mid-core players. So we just need to define how our content marketing will contribute to achieving the business goal, the goal that we put before on a paper. So the next step is define your audience. There's of course several steps or approaches of how to define your audience. It really matters if you are you're producing the new project to the market. It's another one approach. If your product already exists, so it's another. But anyway, you need to define and write it down. I like the approach of your project as a human thing. So if you write draw a simple figure or character, and then can try to explain whatever you can about your audience or about your game, it would definitely help you to define who's your audience. So I have here as an example, we want to kind of focus on mid-core mobile gamers with such age who enjoy action-packed gameplay, progression, cooperation, and we know that those people active in social media. It's very it's an example. I can say that this is just a great approach, but it's just you need to write down your audience, who is your client. Then the next step, so you need to identify content categories and topics. This is another thing. You need to just put all your team together and brainstorm content ideas, and then you should just think of what will engage your players with the content. So I have here several, let's just make some tips and strategies how to play the game, or how to engage community, or about game updates and features. We need to kind of put what we want to achieve from the perspective of categories. What categories we choose to achieve our business goal. Then step 5, detail content types and formats. It's the same thing. You need to just decide what contents formats would be more relevant for your audience. I put here blog articles, YouTube gameplay videos, social media posts. You can choose what you think works better for your audience. And of course, you have some limited resources, so you can't probably make YouTube gameplay videos or social media posts every day. So you need to kind of map it on your resources, on your abilities. So then list distribution channels and frequency. It's more easy to do knowing your resources as well. So I put here that we on a weekly basis we just describe what is Looter on our website, what is good or bad, in-depth feature articles and so on. In our YouTube videos we just showcase our tutorials about the game and the stuff. And then YouTube streams, let's make once per month some event where we play, or QA sessions with developers, or make some community challenges. So and one of the latest step, connect to business purpose. So remember we talked about business goal. Yeah, so we want to increase monthly active users. This is our hypothesis. We want to achieve that. So to put that, I just put as well several examples of what is our like business purposes. One of it is MAU. It can be like boost community involvement, and we think that if we increase that, it helps us to increase our monthly active users. Yeah, so when it's connected, it's the right time to distribute and revisit the strategy, then share with everyone who involved in content production processes, even with those people who don't like work on the content, but people just should know what you are doing and why, from the business objective till like what are the channels we use and like how frequent we are making the content. So, and the latest thing I have here, just start writing your content strategy. It really helps you identify on your goals. It helps you to choose the right content type and right platform to use. And well, your teams would be very grateful if they will understand, or they would understand what and why you are making. And that's it from me. Let's be connected on LinkedIn, and thank you very much. And sorry again for technical issues. Such a great mic you have. Yeah. Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
First of all, thank you very much. I think it's a burning topic for many like small teams in the devs, because very few of us know how to make it at all, not even properly, but just at all. I mean, like in my company, I'm like a CEO who does that because there's nobody else to do that, and I have very little idea how to do it properly. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff there. But if we could go like a couple of slides back, I have pretty specific questions about those steps.
How to make it?
Yeah, I mean, I like it that it needs to be connected to the business. It's kind of somehow overlooked by many people, and it's super important. I agree. So I would start maybe from the very last one. So that's 7 steps. So how it wasn't clear from your explanation, how do you actually connect when you decided all that stuff, like which channels, what exactly you want to achieve in marketing, from the marketing point of view, like how do you exactly connect that back to the business purpose? Is it through some measurement, like ongoing measurement, I don't know, day to day, or maybe once a week or some, like what are the tools to do that, and how to do that right?
Yeah, okay, it's actually a great question. Back in the days in wargaming, one day we decided that we need to kind of measure something, because we did content, we made content, but it wasn't actually connected to the business. It was just because company thought, so if there are a lot of people making content about your game, it means if you hire them, they would make it from from the company about the game. So how to define and how to connect it to the business purpose, we started making that like a bit later, before, like after we ate some how to call it, bad things with the content. So but how to connect it to the business purpose? It's always to start measure something. You need to start measure. You need to make a hypothesis. For example, so if you make weekly some posts or videos about your game, engaging content with I don't know, bloggers, content creators, it would give you 10% of MAU. You can measure the starting point, and then you can measure it after like a month and see if it happens, if it changes something. It doesn't need to be very something very specific, but you need to just start making something and then measure. So one of my friend, she now works for PUBG, and before she joined the company, she started making some really small piece of content just for fun from her own account about some game, and she started just measuring. So like depends on your goal what you want to achieve. For example, if you make a mobile project, so mobile funnel nowadays is really like simple. So it just, you see the ads, if you click it, it would follow you to the App Store page, and you download it or not. It's very simple. So you need to just catch more like using some tricks of misleads, or like something that you can solve the issue of downloading the game, so people can download the game. So with that approach, you anyway need to, well, how to call it, really like depending on your audience. So you probably should know before you start making game, you should kind of analyze your audience. Without that, you can't think of maybe you can, but about like success of the game. So you need to find a niche, and a niche for those people who actually like would play your game. So, and if you found a niche, it means you know your audience somehow. So you kind of define where is it. So, and I would start here with defining the audience. If you don't know how to start, so you need to focus on something, and then try making really simple, small things to just and then measure the results. So this is the only way I see here. So there are no magic wand which is like, if you make this it would work. So some people what to do, they just open Reddit, then put just something like, I am in trending words like gaming industry. Then that page they share with ChatGPT asking, hey, I am a professional game designer, I want to know what is the best trends nowadays in games, and then ask ChatGPT to write some content examples of like how to promote the game. It's workable tool, so it works. You can try that. But anyway, to measure the results, you need to know, like, you need to start like making something really really simple. I was Yeah, that's true. And as I said before, with the like 4 P's of marketing. So here I'm focusing on only promotion. So everything here is about promotion, not about the product. So of course it works better if your product like works in general. It's not for the very like. So if you how to say that? Like in Redhill games, when I started my career there, so we had a game 9 to 5. It wasn't very successful. So, but we kind of bet on the game, and we tried to achieve that. And then with the marketing, it was very like we faced really like we wasted money with the marketing of like we made several advertisements, and we stopped that because it just the game doesn't work as we want it to work, so why should focus on promotion then?
May I follow up on this?
Sure.
I'm not sure if I have a follow-up question actually, because I kind of got what I wanted to hear. More like a few comments. I think we could put this all into perspective, and I'm pretty sure that the audience is like small teams who are like very big, like at the beginning of their journey, or indie teams who don't have that marketing muscle at all, or very very little. And through that, from that point of view, I think that this is a great framework to work through. Problem is, like very few, if anybody, from that neck of the woods, have actual resources to do it right. I know it like firsthand, and I would say that these steps they actually quite intuitively understandable. So when you were like going through them, I caught myself thinking that actually that's somehow how I see it in my head as well. Problem is that I don't know how to leverage it, how to put it in action. If I don't have skills, if I don't have like a person who could do that for me, if I don't have resources to invest in that marketing stuff and all of that, it's a completely different style of approaching that. I think it works perfectly for a bigger company like Redhill, for example. But it's interesting maybe to hear your, if you have that kind of advice, that kind of perspective. What a very small like beginner studio, where should they start to gradually get to that state where they can actually do all those steps properly? Because I think it's so hard to get there. I mean, after 10 years, I'm still not even like built half of it, like not even maybe 1/3 of it is there in place at my studio, for example.
Okay, so I would start, as we call it, with the brand formats. So first of all, if you just have a new project in a market, you need to. It's actually interesting. I had a interview with some American company which makes the game about some cars, something about the cars, but mobile game. And they asked me the question like how to make some marketing for it. And what I was thinking during the interview and what I think about it now, that you should first of all need to show your audience, if you like define some audience which would play your game, you need to show them what is very valuable thing for them. And with that, it like brand formats works better. So you need to sell the feeling of your game. So if it's about cars, you need to kind of, I don't know, make some trailer, make some advertisement about the feeling of the game. So you don't need to kind of show the how to call it, like actual gameplay, whatever. So you need to show the feeling, and with the feeling you need to just show it how you feel it, because you are developer of your like own game, and when you share that, it would give some response from the audience, I think. So this is what actually we did before with some titles of wargaming, when we wanted to try some advertisement on new platform. First that we did, of course, wargaming, for example, Blitz is the game where people, a lot of the traffic goes organically. And the same, I read several days ago some news about or some posts about Supercell. The same there. So they said 90% of the traffic is organic. So it means the project itself is great. But anyway, so if you use some new platform, for example, you have never been to Facebook, and then you one day decide that your audience is there, and you want to make some advertisement there. So you don't need to sell your features, your like you need to kind of try to see the response from the audience, and then you just make advertisement, then you track some results. It actually really doesn't matter what would be the results, because what matters there, if you then send some quizzes to the audience, asking like, do you know the game? What do you feel about the game? And when people start reacting, that this is your audience. So to find that, I would start with this brand awareness first, and then go to some like deeper things when you have achieve some goals, or audience, receive some audience's response. So then you can focus on.
Basically, you're saying that in the beginning you need to like copy bomb everything, like try to get on all the social platforms or whatever promotional channels you can, and like show them the feeling of your product, like maybe some teaser video or something, like maybe some concept art, and then collect the response and like take it from there, like look where the response is most active, most positive, and through that define your audience.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah, but I didn't say that you have to focus on every platform you have. You need to choose like where like.
But I mean, if you don't know where that your audience actually sits, you need to somehow find that out.
Well, sure, but before you make your game, you make your game not because of the content. I'm talking about content strategy, but you make your game for the like people to play, and that's another thing. It's not about only marketing. It's about like so this thing applies to promotion, but promotion is not the only one thing. So I know the companies who spend, I don't know, millions a week for user acquisition and then receive the same amount of money on their bank account, and taking that they're working in a very competitive market. So that's why, of course, with the product first, before you start, making your own product, I think it's really, necessary to find a niche. To find a niche, it's not about the content. It's about different thing. I think.
Yeah, I know. Of course, it's an important part of this pre-production stage of your project, your product. Yeah, definitely. My point is that you don't always know where exactly to find and how to reach out to that audience the best way, because like, okay, I defined my audience. Like in your example, there was like male mid-core gamers from 18 to 34, something like that. So where are those guys? Where they are sitting? Like, are they on Facebook, or on Instagram, or on YouTube, or on Reddit? You don't know it from the beginning, so you have to find out it somehow. So that was my kind of.
Yeah, but there is no magic wand. You can't just. The approach here would be, there is actually two approaches. You know the approach about like blue ocean and red ocean. So blue ocean is something that you make, something new you make in the market. So the World of Tanks game was the part of blue ocean. So no one did that before. So company made it and it became popular. Red ocean is the very competitive, where you need to kind of, it's the like blood ocean, like where you need to cut something from others, and it means you need to find your competitors, references, and then look at their socials, look at their websites, how they operate, and then like work in the competitive market as they work. It's the way, and like with like new way like approaches, or new maybe building some new paths for like defining some like audience that would love your game.
Yeah, I'd say that's a very good practical advice, actually, to look at your competitors, how they do it, and like pick up their audience, or try to at least.
And there was a very similar question actually in the chat about like the difficulty of these platforms to even get your content seen. So how to get it on the like in front of the viewers that you want to reach, how to get to the position where you can actually spark that first response that you could even measure. So is it like I picked up from what you were speaking earlier that it's really about like the quality of the content, and whether it's your ability to convey the feeling of the game. So if it doesn't spark any response,
Yeah.
is it back to the drawing board, or what do you say?
Yeah. Actually, we had some tests where we made some trailers about game which wasn't exist. Like we made some key visual art, and you just try with different, the A/B testing with different fonts, different I don't know, like buttons, whatever. So you can make it and then see the reaction. So we build a landing page which follows from the ad, and when you click it, just people and you see the responses. There was like a counter that just counted for us some amount of people who clicked. And then there was a small form with email where you can put email, and the same way actually Steam works nowadays with this wish list. So companies most likely, it's a great approach to make your to boil your audience before, so to follow everyone into one source like Steam and ask them to add your game to wish list. And then it helps you already would have an audience there. So if you ask that, or the same with the Discord, you need to choose like one channel where people would gather and talk about your game. I would say Discord and Steam is like one of the best platforms for that. Yeah.
We have still a couple of more minutes. We're a little bit over time because we have the technical issue. So if you want to ask any more questions, opportunity is here.
Yeah, hi. Just to I'm really plugged into this, but I'm in the music world. A lot of this stuff resonates with me, and it's like the brand thing. Would you agree that the brand isn't about the colours and the logo and everything like that? It's more about the values of the person that's giving out, that's making this, and why they give a shit, and why this is like important to them, and why the other people should give a shit about this.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you somewhat?
As I said, I think I needed to include one more slide here about that. So I like the approach. I share that as like your brand as a human. If you build that, if you write as much as you can about your brand, if you imagine from the first person, what is it about? So you would realize like how it speaks, what it likes, what it doesn't like, what people would like, about your brand, and what they wouldn't. It would just a bit narrow your approach of how to define the audience for the brand. And the same, it's like easy thing to realize that my kid talks with his grandfather one way, and I talk with my dad another way. So it's the same. So how you speak with your audience from different perspectives. So it's not about colors for sure.
Or logos, or like the artwork, the graphics, it's about the values of the person that's putting this thing out.
Yeah.
The other thing I just wanted to ask about, it was about something. I can't remember what it was now. There was branding, and I can't. It's gone. Sorry.
No worries. We have the opportunity to discuss even after.
But thank you.
Any more questions at this time? If not, I would ask one last question. It's a bit outside the scope of your presentation, actually, but just to kind of learn more about you and how you have built your perspective to this. So obviously, like you've done many different roles in the past, and like always with the spearhead of like marketing being there. But I understand that you've done like technical stuff, and you've done like this strategic stuff. And so how do you define yourself as a professional yourself? Okay, it's a massive question, but just to narrow it down. So where have you built this perspective? Because I just think that what you are saying is that you need the substance knowledge of like all the tools that you're working with, about the product, about the business, about everything, and then you bring all this knowledge into your marketing to make it cut through all the noise. So elaborate a little bit, like where have you built the understanding of all of this?
Well, I don't know. It just happened sometimes organically, sometimes because just we needed to measure something. So, but as I started as a video editor in wargaming, and after like a year, I just realized that I can influence people and can lead, and they proposed me to lead the team. And during my way, I just we always try to build not just like some structure or pipelines or whatever. We try to build projects that are resonate with the audience. So that's why probably I just I was and I am curious about different stuff, and so when I just saw or like felt that I have lack of experience somewhere, I just try to find the proper information of proper people who can tell me like what works, what doesn't. So well, I don't know. For me, it was just the way of like it's learning path. What I just realized, my mom thinks that when you graduate from the uni, you're fine. You found a work, great. You can work forever somewhere. So I think the learning is infinite, ongoing thing. And when I realized that, I just tried to probably, like solve issues I see, and make some projects which, as I said, resonate with the audience. Yeah, sure. Actually, well, one day at Wargaming we had a really bad update for World of Tanks, and it was disaster, literally disaster from marketing perspective, from development. It was just something. It was a huge name 10.0 update or something. I don't remember even the name. But in the trailer, where was like falling Eiffel Tower, and update wasn't ready, and then some terract happened in Paris, and we just realized that just if we release that, it would be like complete disaster, and we just stopped and tried to think of like how we can build the connection between game development, publisher, marketing, and so on, to just be on the same page. And we realized that we put a lot of effort into the content production, but it wasn't equal with the content in the game. And so what I wanted to say with that, I am lost. So I just wanted to say that what was the question? I lost in the forest. Yeah. So that's why we started think player first, and it changes our lives, because when we just we started to kind of judge our content from the perspective of the viewers. For example, we made some video about some game feature, and someone came to us saying like, hey, it looks bad, we can make it better. And we said like, okay, but what will the player see some difference? And then when the answer was like, well, no, it means that we need to put a lot of effort into like polish it like as much as we have or as much as we can, but we need to just publish it as is, because it really doesn't matter nowadays. So, and when you start thinking about like not about you, so for example, I asked my colleague to help me with the preparation to this presentation, and the first question she asked me like, hey, who's your audience? And I just like, well, I don't know. Then I asked Matti like, hey, who will be here? And he said like, yeah, where's like some audience from here and there. And I just realized, okay, so what topic can I talk about with you guys? And it's all the same about any production of any project you make. So you should think of like who would see it, who would play it, who would, I don't know.
I think that's a beautiful meta lesson to wrap up with, because you're kind of applying what you're preaching to this very moment here. So in that sense. But yeah, being cautious of time, I think it's about time for us to wrap up. So let's give a big round of applause for Alex.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's continue with the mingling. There's coffee, there's snacks, there's professionalism, and the great ideas going all around. So enjoy yourselves and make great connections. And for all